It's update number 7, Angels of the Host Army Challenge. Welcome to another exciting episode, Thrones of Angels, Throne of Angels video blog, as always. Oh, that's so satisfying. I am your host, Mr. Derek Osborne, here to show you a world in miniature. So as you can see, the backdrop changed yet once again. Man, I am speaking so fast, I can't keep up with myself. Once again, to the standard, or what has been the standard backdrop, for the last, 6 months now? Yeah. So I need the stand, I need the table, I need something to smash my hammer on. It's just a thing, right? It has to happen to make myself feel better. No other reason. Today I'm joined by everybody's favorite dog detective, Mr. Scooby-Doo. How you doing today, Scooby? I'm sure all of you heard him say, "Fine, thanks," just like I did in my head, because that's what happens when you talk to Scooby, right? Right. Okay, where are we at? We are update number 7 for the Angels of the Host Army Challenge. Now, as I alluded to last week, Maurice and I will be in Chicago for Adepticon next week. Technically, this is the quote-unquote last week of the challenge, but we discussed it, and as a group, we all came to the same conclusion that we should have an extension, 1 week. And the reason being is I've got stuff to do over here, basically over on the other side of Scooby, for the trip for Adepticon. Maurice last week showed us he's got a ton of stuff that he's doing for Adepticon. Essentially this week is going to be nothing but Adepticon project stuff for me, mainly a kill team. And so what I get done tonight to finish up the Noise Boys, you'll see in a few minutes that I've just got a couple of things left to do. Might tap the Hellbrute a little bit this week. I did some highlighting essentially on his flesh tones this week over at the airbrush station, and I've still got 7 chosen to do after the Hellbrute, so I am up against a wall, and this week is going to be mostly kill team. So we decided next week, obviously Mo and I will be in Chicago. Randy gets an extra week of time, and then the following week we will basically wrap up what is going on with the Army Challenge. So let's jump right in, take a look, and see what I've got accomplished with the Noise Boys. I know Rando has been working on that clacker, and that's really the only way you can say that. And Maurice is cracking away on his discs. Let's check them updates right quick, and then we'll be right back with that wrap. All right, my boy band is in the house. What's up, Noise Boys? So we are looking at essentially the end stages of my Noise Marines for this project. For the most part, they're done. There's a few things that I want to finish, some details. I need to do highlights on anything that is bone, and you'll see that on a couple of guys. I've got a couple of areas of red that I want to highlight out and probably shade down. The flesh is done. The armor mostly done. I want to bring the armor up brighter, but quite honestly, I've tested a couple of different places and not liked it. So I haven't come up with a way to do it yet that I like. I like the color where it's at, but I think it still needs a couple of highlights in a few places. So there'll probably be some experimentation, and then obviously I want to shade areas, especially around the filigree, to give a deeper separation between those 2 points, and I'll show you a couple of places where that really kind of stands out in my mind or to me. So we'll start out with the leader, and we'll see if we have to, yep, we got a zoom. So we're gonna zoom, zoom too much. There we go. All right. So this guy, I did some bone. You'll see that I did flesh in a lot of places, right? All of their gloves are flesh because they basically look like leather, with the exception of this dude, his hand. He has a wrap, but he's got a demonic hand. And then we've got the old demon on the shoulder pad there. Right, I've done some kind of blending to make it look like it's emerging from that shoulder pad. We got probably 1 or 2 more passes there that I want to do with basically some purple shading to blend it in a little bit more. I really like this guy's head, but like I said, I still have to do the highlights on the bone, so this guy will get another layer or 2 of paint. But I do have to clean up his shoulder pad. I was doing some flesh to bone blending in there, and I still have to, like I said, finish out the bone. But for the most part, this guy is pretty close to done. I do want to work on his blaster a bit more, and I'll probably do something a little more with the face on his shin guard. Again, to me, tabletop, right? These guys aren't supposed to be super beautiful, but they're not supposed to be unpretty either, because they are Noise Marines, and Noise Marines are pretty boys. Again, bone. When I've got black cloth there, I still have to do all the highlighting on the black cloth. Now, I am going to wash down anything that is silver with an armor wash to give it a better blend. I did all of the holsters in a flesh as well. Right, I used basically a lot of areas like the wraps. Some of this guy here, his tubes, some of them are metal, some of them are flesh. So I have done a number of different things just to kind of make them stand out. This is one of my favorites. This was a chosen that I converted. I gave him that little mouth there just to the right, well, his right, camera left of his head. He obviously has got a lot of bone. Let's see if I can center him up. There we go. Got a lot of bone that I still need to work with. He's got the flesh tabard, the flesh sword. This guy here also has a flesh demon coming out of his shoulder pad. This is like one of my favorite models. He's got brain on his backpack that I still need to highlight up. So for the most part, there's still just a bunch of highlighting to be done. Now this guy's like my heavy converted dude. Sorry, the heavily converted dude. He's got most of his stuff done. As you can see, his helmet is a mess of flesh and wiring. His backpack converted, right? Added some tubes and some random stuff, basically to give him a kind of a screamer feel. Now, this guy was converted out of a Noise Marine who had a bolt pistol and chainsword, so he's missing the bolt pistol in his holsters. So we'll just leave it that way. It's fine. Not a big deal. And then last but not least, we've got this guy here. I still have to do, like I said, the shade down and the highlights on the red. He's got flesh, obviously, as well in his tabard. And for the most part, he's got bone shoulder pad. Like I said, the bone has to be done. So essentially, I've got to finish the bone, finish the reds, and then shade down the weapons. Other than that, those guys, for the most part, are pretty much done. And then, just to show you guys what I did with the Hellbrute, as you can see, obviously I don't have a side-by-side comparison, but I did a ton of work on his flesh. It was purple last week. I sprayed down, or sprayed up, I should say, a lot of areas to give him more of a flesh tone to the fleshy areas. Those will get shaded, and then I'll separate out the blacks and the metals and all that fun stuff that'll get squared away a little bit better. Obviously the bone and the tongues and the mouth and the other things, right? Ton of work to do there. No changes on the chosen, so I'm not even gonna bother showing you those. But that is my update for this week. We are so close with these dudes, and well, next week it's going to be focusing on my kill team, which are 2 Adeptus Custodes and 5 Sisters of Silence. I still haven't even figured out how I'm going to arm them yet. So, oh man, a lot to do, short period of time to do it. Let's jump into Maurice's update, then we'll see what Grim is doing on the clacker, and we'll hit the wrap.
This is Maurice again, just checking in. I got a little bit of color in on the rest of the non-sorcerer discs, so just really one color on each so far, but I'm going to do blue on each of the remaining sections that are white right now, and then the spikes will be kind of spiky color or bone color, and so that's hopefully going to go up tonight. But I wanted to get this video in so Derek could edit it with his one fewer hour of sleep that we've all earned today. So, anyways, it's going to be a photo finish as the challenge winds down to get these tabletop, but we're doing what we can. So see you next week.
Yes, get Grimmy. Again, update number 7, Angel House Challenge. Army Challenge right in. So this week we worked on the Clagger. Oh, look at that guy. We worked on him. We finished him up. Oh, he's so great. That is the Clagger. Oh, the Clagger. He's got 3 Clagger hands and 1 burn and scorcher hand, because he likes to cook his food before he cracks it up into little sausages. Ha 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 ha! Right then, boys. So, as we heard last week, Oz and Mo, them boys is going to the Adepticon. So, we got one more week, 1 extra week to get our stuff done. Right, I actually got to get these dang tank busters figured out. I know what happened, but I got really behind and now I'm stuck. But now I have 2 weeks to work on Rock Pit Garrog, the Mugger Butcher of Boca Secundus, and his Gretchen Grot buddy. We got Grot. We'd like to root the Decker for his boards. Anyways, guys, right in. We got 2 more weeks because of Adepticon. So, let's get there. Let's work hard. We got this finished up right now. We got a Clagger. Rock pick. Whoa!
And that wrap. All right. As I stated earlier, we've just got a few more things to do on the Noise Boys, and we're going to call them quote-unquote done. Those guys have so much going on, I could paint on them for another 2 weeks and still not feel like I'm finished, right? But as Chevy said last week, maybe the week before, finished, not done. So we're definitely stretching into that finished, not done aspect with the Noise Boys. But like I said, up against the wall, have a ton of stuff that I have to get done, still have 7 chosen, still have the Hellbrute plus my kill team, which is the focus for this week. We'll go ahead and show you that in the update. If I do any Hellbrute work, we'll show you that in the update for this week as well. Mo and I are going to do an update on site at Adepticon, but more than likely it's just to show you guys random games that we might be playing, or just to say, hey, what's up? Brandon is expected to do a standard update because, well, he gets an extra week, so he's got to do the work. Now, when I get back, I will definitely say that week's update, or next week's update, the Adepticon update, 2 weeks from now, is going to be late. And I say that because I'm driving back from Chicago, which is almost an 8-hour drive, plus stops, it'll be over 8 hours. If I leave at 6, man, I'm getting back at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, more than likely. I'm going to be exhausted and definitely not going to be up to editing some video. So that'll get done sometime on Monday. Uploaded maybe in the evening, probably Tuesday, who knows, we'll see. It'll be a thing. As you guys saw, we all got a bunch of stuff done, and we still have a ton more to do. So with that, as always, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week. In this episode, why are you echoing?